Let's next talk about how to use the confidence scale and troubleshoot common issues that come up when doing problem-solving treatment. First, let's talk about how to use the confidence scale on your PEARLS worksheet. As a reminder, the 7 steps start with step 1, clarifying and defining the problem. Step 2, setting a realistic goal. Step 3, generating multiple solutions or brainstorming. Step 4, evaluating and comparing solutions or weighing the pros and cons. Step 5, selecting a feasible solution. Step 6, implementing the solution. And step 7, at your next session, evaluating the outcome. The confidence scale occurs after step 6, implementing the solution. Here it is on the PEARLS worksheet, right under after you've worked with a participant to outline specific steps that they'll carry out to try and achieve the solution they picked from step 3 and 4 and 5. The confidence scale on the PEARLS worksheet is a guide, and it asks the participant to rate their confidence in their solution choice and the steps that they've laid out to achieve that goal in step 6. This confidence scale is based on motivational interviewing, or MI. MI is a collaborative, goal-oriented style of communication with particular attention to the language of change. It's designed to strengthen personal motivation for and commitment to a specific goal by eliciting and exploring a person's own reasons for change within an atmosphere of acceptance and compassion. That comes from Miller and Rolnick's textbook on motivational interviewing from 2013. After a participant has rated their confidence on the confidence scale on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest confidence and 10 being the highest, it's important to ask several probing questions to understand what that means to them. First, if they select a 7, ask, what does a 7 mean to you? Or why are you a 7? This will help you understand what the number means for them as well as for themselves. As for some people, a 7 may be something very positive that they're excited about and feeling highly confident, where someone else who's a 7 may feel that that's not good enough. So starting with asking what it means to them helps get specific for that particular participant. Next, ask, why are you a 7 and not a 5? Pick something about 2 points lower than their original rating. This will really help emphasize their change talk and abilities and help them see that they are more confident than they might have originally thought. Next, ask, what would help you move from a 7 to an 8, usually 1 or 2 points higher? This will help them think of what are some changes they might make to their action plan or steps to achieve their solution identified during PST step 6, and at this time, make changes to their plan instead of waiting for the next week or next month when you go through step 7 and evaluate how it went. So for example, let's say the client shares as you're doing the confidence scale that I'm looking forward to walking around the block on Saturday, but I'm worried I won't leave the house if it's raining. You can then help them adjust the action plan in step 6 accordingly. So for example, the participant may share, well, my neighbor's usually good about lending me an umbrella or walking with me if she's around. The coach can then encourage the participant to add talking to their neighbor this evening to step 6, so I don't have an easy out to not walk if the weather's lousy. In this case, the participant has added connecting with their neighbor to help motivate them, support them, and hold them accountable to carry out their steps of walking around the block on Saturday, even if it's raining. What are some other ways we might want to troubleshoot PST that have commonly come up in our research and practice? These are common issues that we've heard about, and your clinical supervisor, your program manager, or your peers and colleagues can help with troubleshooting difficult or complicated situations that arise. First, coming up with new problems as you go through the worksheet with a client. In this case, try to focus them back on the problem that they pick for today's worksheet and help them jot down any new problems on the problem list for future sessions. That way they're heard and what's important to them is added to the list to work on, but you can still continue to focus on that problem that you decided to try and tackle that day and really learn and apply the problem-solving skills. Next, people may rely on others for solutions or action steps. While it's great to engage other supports to carry out solutions and action steps, it does mean that the participant will have less control over their action plan and their ability to carry it out. If you find this happening again and again, encourage the participant to try a solution that doesn't involve others or involve other people, or add a backup plan in case that person may not be available. Next, people may pick problems that are problems for others and not for them. If this happens repeatedly, gently reflect on this when you're doing step 7, where you review how the worksheet and the action plan went from the previous session. If you find that their PHQ-9 or their depression symptoms are not decreasing, this can be another way to highlight the importance of picking things that matter to them. The same can happen with goals and solutions. If somebody's always picking something they think they should do, give them an opportunity to try something that they may want to do and then see what happens with their PHQ-9 score, their mood, their energy at the next session. Next, a participant may focus on the same problem at every session. It's okay to do this a few times, especially if it's a really complex problem, but then encourage the client to apply PST or the problem-solving steps to a new problem. Even if the first one is still an issue, this will really help them to have some success and to learn the skills by applying them to different issues in their lives. This may also mean they need to break down the problem into more manageable chunks, and that's okay too. Remember, PST or problem-solving treatment is about learning how to tackle some problems and not solving all problems. This can be difficult and frustrating, but actually in practice, we've seen that learning and applying these steps to some problems in participants' lives can actually help participants learn to accept some of the issues they cannot resolve, which can actually help reduce some of their depressive symptoms.